And, as far as the fees go, there's a lot of confusion there, but I'll just make it real simple. Okay. You have reasonable fees and unreasonable fees. An attorney or claims agent can charge you so long as they are VA accredited. If you're not VA accredited in this system, you're not supposed to charge. However, there are consulting companies, big ones, and everyone knows them, like Trajector, Veteran Guardian, stuff like that. They believe that they can charge for consulting services outside of this system. Now, there's going to be a lot of litigation about this over the years, because in our constitutional republic, you should have a right to hire whoever you want, whenever you want, for whatever you want, as long as it's not to hurt another person.
If you want to learn more about the VA claims process, you can go to my website at combatcraig.com. And part of that process is medical evidence. That's what you're fighting. That's what we're fighting about when it comes to VA claims and veterans benefits. So you can go to my website and contact my med team.
So if the government owes you money under our Constitution, you should be able to hire whomever is going to do the best job for you that you feel the most comfortable with. And that should be your right to contract and your right to associate with whomever you want. However, in the VA system, they have a system built out with the VSOs and VA that forces you to only use a VSO, a CVSO, or anyone else that'll work for free at the beginning, so long as they're VA accredited, to help you at the initial stage. What's the result? The result is usually lower benefits. If you look at any of the claims that are filed by a CVSO, I've done a few pro bono cases on initial claims, and what I submit is different usually than what a VSO submits. A VSO usually submits a one-word banger about what the type of claim is, and they're looking at your file and having to interpret it as non-lawyers, non-doctors, come up with a diagnosis or the proper symptom that the VA will understand, and then put that in your record, and hopefully they're right.
But usually it's nose itch and scratch. Like they put the weirdest stuff in there. And
Yeah.
they have
Yeah. Well, and sometimes they put too much in there as well.
More words is not more
No.
results. It's just more words.
More words bad. And if it's the VA, we'll just won't read it. So,
Right.
That's basically what happened to my initial claim. So anyway, so that's the point of it. So we have reasonable fees, unreasonable fees. If it's disability compensation, we're talking about back pay, then you can charge up to 20%, and that is presumed reasonable. So presumed reasonable by the agency. The agency has jurisdiction over your fee agreements, and it's written in the regulation that way and the code. And so then from 20 to 33 and a third percent, that is neither presumed reasonable or unreasonable. The agency can question it, veteran can question it, stuff like that. And the attorney just needs to verify what they did and how the benefit, was conferred, right? And so that's that component. Then you can still charge over 33 and a third percent up to whatever, as long as it's reasonable. Now the agency will presume that it is not reasonable, and you'll have to prove that it's reasonable. And there are situations where you would do that, such as a person that's on deathbed. They don't have a widow, or they don't have a future widow. So the money is going to disappear once the veteran passes away, which again is unique to the VA. When it's Social Security, the estate will pick up the money usually if there is nobody to confer it to. In VA land, the money just goes poof. No wifey, no money, poof, or no minor child. And so those are the exceptions. And in that context, you might charge more of a fee because there's more risk that the person will pass away before you win. And so that's an instance where you would maybe charge 40% or something like that, which again is not obscene in the current marketplace. So you'll see cases where, like a med mal case, 40%, mass tort case, like the earplugs and stuff like that, 40%. If you go to a mass tort attorney, and we are handling cases like that now. So if you're injured by the Phillips machine, for example, and you have cancer in your throat, that law firm might charge 40%. And there's a reason why.
If you want to learn more about the VA claims process, you can go to my website at combatcraig.com. And part of that process is medical evidence. That's what you're fighting. That's what we're fighting about when it comes to VA claims and veterans benefits. So you can go to my website and contact my med team.
You have a boatload of experts you got to pay for. You have a host of other things that got to get covered. And it is expensive to litigate. Take a med mal case, for example. $200,000 in experts that the attorney is going to front. Ultimately, the claimant is responsible for that, but the law firm might finance that on the front end, and if successful, then the veteran will be responsible to pay for those experts on the back end. But it's expensive if you look at going to court over a civil rights case against the police. That's $250,000, $500,000 just to bring the lawsuit. So you're only going to get picked if you have the best facts. And even then, it's just really hard. It's hard to find an attorney. Talk to any veteran who wants to find an attorney for a med mal case. Not a lot of us out there will work on those. I will work on some very select ones, but for the most part, the fees are too low, and you work the same as you would on a non-FTCA case where you have higher odds of success. So why would you spend the same energy and same resources on these kind of handcuffed, cases where it's just hard. It's hard to win against a federal judge, or the agency, I should say, in front of a federal judge without a jury. It just is. So anyway, a lot of nuances.
Good example there, though, right? Like you are weighing strategies and potential outcomes at your level, right? Mm-hmm. So we should definitely be doing that at the veteran. I'm not saying that you're not a veteran, but you know what I mean? Yeah. Like this is something that just get used to doing this with the VA for the rest of your life, this kind of mindset.
Back and forth.
Think about, back and forth, and don't be personal about it, and don't be unrealistic. You can sell yourself all sorts of reasons why you can win, but if you're missing what you need to win, you're not going to win. Don't blow smoke up your own ass, I think is what I call that.
No, 100%. Like I have friends contacting me about kind of the same type of thing. Contacting me about, family law kind of things, which is not really something I get involved in, but they'll contact me and they'll really want help on a certain unique thing. And they're like, man, I'm a Purple Heart veteran. Don't they know? And I'm like, dude, they don't give a shit about you.
Yeah. Yep.
Why do you think? Why? Like they think, okay, am I going to get paid to do the service? Is this going to be a good case? Can I get along with this person and not have a problem later? Because you don't want to take a client you're not going to get along with. And, I've been very blessed to get along with my clients, or the vast majority anyway. And, you think about that. You're like, okay, is this a person I'm going to get along with? But anyway, so there's a lot of veterans out there that believe that society owes them a thing because of the Purple Heart. And I'm just going to tell you, they don't. How do we know they don't? Because you're screwed right now.
Right.
That's evidence enough that they don't owe you anything because you're screwed already.
And just got to look through society, how genuine,
how
is
real.
That? Thank you for your service when you show your card at Lowe's or whatever. I mean, it's just, to me, that
special
statement
parking
makes me feel weird because I don't feel the need to thank them for their service in 7-Eleven between 1986 and 80. They did what they did. I did what I did. There no thanks required. The whole thing is. Yeah, just go look at it or pay attention.
You're just,
There's not real genuineness going on there.
You're doing your thing, 100%. And so I think with the, it's one thing that I would, disabuse any veteran watching this. If you're watching this and you're wondering, like, okay, why can't I find help on this? Probably because you have a bad case.
Where can folks find you if they want to reach out to you and say hi?
Yeah, if they have any questions about this type of stuff, BenjaminKrausLaw.com is the best place to reach me.